Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Pleasure Priority Podcast. It's your host, Amber Taylor, and it's my pleasure to talk to y'all today. And apologies in advance if you can hear the congestion in my voice. It's allergy season, and the allergies are kicking my ass. But did y'all know that the reason allergies suck so bad these days is because of capitalism? Also, white supremacy, because what does it not touch? And then, a healthy dose of misogyny. But yeah, that's why allergies suck. Because when city planners were deciding the cities, and this probably came from a higher level directive, but they decided to plant male trees. I'm not even holding y'all. There's actually a term for it. You know what? Let me get you the real definition. Botanical sexism is the preferred planting of cloned males in urban areas because they do not produce fruits and flowers that litter the landscape. However, because males produce pollen, areas with only male plants can have high pollen in the air and therefore be inhospitable to people with pollen allergies. So basically, they didn't want people having access to free food. Why would you let fruit grow on trees if you can't make no money from it? Don't let the fruit grow on the trees, send them to the store so you could make some money off of it. And also, don't plant the fruit because it could fall. And litter is nasty. But have you seen our pollution? Have you seen our litter? Why do we care about fruit on the ground, but not anything else? Questions that need answers. But anywho, that was my rant before my other rant because allergies are whooping my ass and they're really just unnecessary. We could have just planted female trees or we could have planted a healthy mix of trees. So the pollen has somewhere to go, aka fertilizing the female trees, making flowers, making fruits, making things that we need and that also make outside more beautiful and more efficient and more useful. But no, we stick to the male trees because sexism, misogyny, capitalism, and of course, white supremacy, because it's the root of all evil. But yes, let me get into the topic today. I know a lot of times I get the feedback that my podcast is like a loving hug. It's like food for the nervous system. My voice is soothing to hear, all the things. I'm letting you know right now, this ain't one of them episodes. But this has been coming up so much lately that I decided to talk about it here. And what I'm getting at today, y'all, is hard things. Because sometimes shit's hard. And we don't want to do it because it's so hard. And there's some shit that we just have to do. There's some shit that we just have to get through to get to what we want. Like, yes, of course, I am the biggest proponent of listening to your needs, listening to your nervous system, taking care of yourself, putting things down when you need to. And at the same time, sometimes you don't need to put that shit down. Sometimes you just need to get it done and accept that it's not going to feel good and accept that it's going to be hard. Just because things get hard doesn't mean anything has gone wrong. Just because things get hard doesn't mean you should stop. Just because things get hard doesn't mean that you're not capable or worthy or deserving. Just because things get hard doesn't mean you need to give up. And sometimes I feel like this soft life movement has had a negative effect. And disclaimer, I am a full proponent, full believer in soft life, in having space, in having freedom, in having luxury, in support, in community, in not being forced to do things, in not suffering for survival. I'm a fan of all of that. And you don't really get to a soft life without going through shit. A soft life does not need to negate the skill of resilience. Every single human needs to build the skill of resilience. And of course, y'all know I love a definition. So resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. It's toughness. It's also defined as the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape, or elasticity. And the reason why I say resilience is required for every human is because you cannot escape the human experience without difficulties. And let's be real, difficulties are made differently for different people. Some hardship for one is a cakewalk for another, and so on and so forth. However, we each have our own views of difficulties, of hardships, of obstacles, because we have our own skills, our own experiences, our own dreams, our own goals, our own hesitations, our own drawbacks, all of it. But each and every one of us is going to face difficulties, especially if you hold multiple marginalized identities. You will face difficulties, and you need to be resilient to bounce back from them. Because if you don't have resilience, if you don't have that toughness, that fortitude, it is going to throw you off every time. You won't be able to move forward. You won't be able to grow. You won't be able to get what you want because you have to deal with the shit. You have to overcome the difficulties. And I really don't like telling people what they have to do, and I really don't like shoulds. However, there is no other way around it. The only way out is through. And if you try to make it out by going around by circumventing, you will end up there again. You will end up right back at the beginning of that difficulty, maybe in a different circumstance at a different time, but you're going to have to go through that shit to get to the other side. So, yeah, this is a kick in the pants from me. I know it's hard. Do it anyway. I know it's scary. Face the fear. I know it's new and intimidating. Boss the fuck up. Please, please stop thinking that you are too fragile to go through hard things. You're not too fragile. You're not broken. You're not going to break. You're just not practiced or experienced in this area, and that's okay. Resilience is built by doing, it's built by commitment, it's built by showing up and continuing to show up regardless of the outcome. It's trusting the inevitability that everything is going to be all right. And if it's not all right, then it's not over. So keep going, because again, the only way out is through. And y'all, I know there are some use cases where people like really can't handle it. Like one more thing is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And in those situations, no, don't push yourself to do more. However, don't conflate those situations with your regular day to day, with your regular amount of stress, anxiety, overwhelm, all the things. Again, it's supposed to be hard. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to present itself in your schedule when you have so much availability for it. No, that's not how it works. It's supposed to interrupt some shit. It's supposed to make you reconsider some things. It's supposed to make you reevaluate and reprioritize. Again, it's all part of it. So stop believing that you are too fragile to do the hard thing and to build resilience. You're not. You are strong and you are capable. And again, I know strong has been thrown at Black women for so long and has been used essentially as an excuse to punish, torment, add extra pressure, extra responsibility, extra difficulty without any care, compassion, or acknowledgement of that pain, of those difficulties. And at the same time, strength is a skill. Strength is an asset, not to be overused, but also not to be underused. Use your strength for you. And same thing with comfort zones. There's a time and a place. And even if that time is years, that's okay. And we have to acknowledge that staying in our comfort zones do not help us grow. And again, I'll add a caveat. It's one thing to be in a comfort zone or provide safety for yourself when you're doing hard things. So it's like you go do the thing and then you come back to your comfort zone. That's actually self-care. It's not that you can never be in your comfort zone or never go back into it. It's that if you stay there, you're not going to go anywhere else. So Leave your comfort zone. Do the hard thing. Because the more you leave your comfort zone, the more you get comfortable outside of your comfort zone, the more your comfort zone expands. The more you can feel comfortable and confident doing things that used to scare the fuck out of you. We have to do them first. We have to build that strength. We have to build that resilience. We have to go through. And the reason we have to go through is because there's so much information, there's so much richness, there's so much experience in that journey that you need to grow. And on the note of being fragile, you can stick with it. I promise. I promise. Even though it may feel so far away from where you are now, you can still do it. Shorten the distance. Make mile markers where you can celebrate milestones. Don't just look at the end goal, look at the steps towards that goal and how you can knock them off en route getting there. And not just steps toward the goal, but also ways you can manifest that future reality in your current one. So, first things first, let's change how we're thinking about it. Not all hard things are made the same. Not all hard things are out to get you. A lot of hard things are actually what you need to get what you want. Like, even the idea of working out, exercise, losing weight, going to the gym is hard. Being consistent about going to the gym is hard. Managing going to the gym with work and life and other responsibilities is hard. And how else are you going to lose weight? Even if you have assistance in any kind of way, you still have to work out and eat differently to lose weight. And whenever you do something new, different, something that you weren't doing before, it's hard. But that doesn't mean it's problematic. It just means you haven't had enough experience there and you need to get your reps up. So instead of looking at a hard thing as something out to get you or something that's preventing you from what you want or in the way of what you want, start looking at the hard things as data because that's really what they are. Just information. Where am I still struggling? Where am I hesitant? What do I have to improve and work on? What would change when this process is easy for me? Where are my limits and where's my room to grow? Hard things give you so much data that when you stop making it a problem, you can actually synthesize the data and glean the truth from it, glean a plan, a path, a way forward. But feeling like you can't do it isn't a reason to give up. It's literally just your brain throwing a temper tantrum that you're trying to do something different. And remember, brains hate newness. They hate ambiguity. They hate the unknown because the unknown is dangerous. The unknown can kill us. So, brain's number one responsibility is to protect us. And it sees protecting our lives as protecting us from the unknown. So we have to do that work to be like, hey, brain, I know what's going to happen. This newness isn't going to kill me. It's not. We are safe. We are safe to try. We are safe to fail. We are safe to experiment because you are. So do not give up. Do not tell yourself that you cannot do it. Don't look at the finish line and quit because you don't know how you're going to get there. Again, I know it's hard. And I also know that you can do it. So buck up, bitches. Let's fucking go. And on the note of hard things giving you data, you learn so much about yourself when you do the hard things. Not just your limitations and your areas for improvement, but also your patterns, your defaults, your trauma wounds, your biggest motivators, your go to excuses, and of course, your strengths. And understanding this information, again, helps you learn how to improve it, helps you learn how to change, helps you learn how to do the hard things to get to what you want. How you specifically need to do the thing. Because everybody doesn't do things the same way. And trying to do something in a way that's not aligned with you and who you are is going to make it harder than it needs to be. Doing the hard things to learn more about yourself also gives you insight into how yourself can do hard things better, faster, and dare I say, easier. Not to say that the hard thing suddenly becomes easy, but when you actually work in alignment with how you work, how your brain works, how your nervous system works, how your energy works, how all of it works, the hard things get easier. They're still hard, but they're not as hard. And that's a fucking win because we take them when we can get them with the hard things. Because again, shit's still gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard regardless. But we just gotta do hard things anyway. Because furthermore, that's where confidence comes from. Action first. Very few people just start out confident. And even fewer people are able to maintain that confidence after something doesn't work out early on. Confidence is built through experience. It's built through doing the hard things over and over again. It's built through the self-trust that you create by doing hard things, by sticking to commitments, by allowing yourself to make mistakes and figure out a better way. That's where confidence comes from. And you're not just going to get confidence in something because you want it. And you sure as shit aren't going to feel ready for something that you're not confident in. So, another thing that I need y'all to please stop doing is waiting till you're ready because you're never going to be ready. And a caveat, because I could already see some shit coming. If you're determining your readiness based on hitting a level of proficiency before moving on, that's one thing. But just waiting until you feel ready is entirely different because that's essentially waiting until you feel the feeling of confidence drop out of the sky when you haven't put in the work to build it. That's the type of waiting for ready that I'm talking about and steering you away from. Stop that shit. And notice how that definition of resilience didn't say anything about pushing through. It said to withstand or recover quickly. So no pushing through involved. This is not about white knuckling and trying to make it through. Just holding on so you don't fall off. And righteously, sometimes it'd be like that. But most of the time, it's going to be about you figuring out ways to get support in doing the hard thing so you can stay consistent with it. It's about being smart, taking care of yourself, getting rest, asking for the help you need, adapting on the fly. And yeah, sometimes it is about holding on for dear life. But even when you're holding on for dear life, you can still get support. You can still get help. You can still be assisted in doing the hard things. It's still going to be hard. But we don't have to push through or bulldoze or try to rush. We have to go through and experience and sometimes take our time in that hard place. Because again, that's where we're going to get data. That's where we're going to grow. That's where we're going to learn so much about ourselves, especially our shadow selves. So yeah, don't push through. Ask for support so you can go through to get through. So yeah, said another way, it's all about duality. It's about holding multiple things at once. This is hard. This fucking sucks. This may be one of the worst things I've experienced in my life. And this too shall pass. I know I will overcome. I know I am healing. I know I am getting stronger. I know this won't hit me the same forever. And I'm willing to allow myself to be here while I get myself out. And my friends, start small. Don't try to do everything all at once. Again, we're not trying to rush this. We're not trying to just push through. We're trying to heal, grow, and understand. That requires you to slow down and get granular. Start small. Take a baby step and then keep taking baby steps. Even if you have to take the same baby step over and over, continuing to do that is still a step. It's still moving you forward. It's the 1% rule in action. As long as you do a little bit, as long as you don't stop, you don't give up, you will get there. And I know I told y'all this was a kick in the pants episode, but as always, it is coming from a place of love Because if you don't do the hard things, if you continue to avoid them, your world shrinks. Your comfort zone shrinks. Because the edges that push up against the hardness that you didn't want to experience start to close in on you. Then even more doubt creeps in, some shame, and of course, self pity makes an appearance. But then that time starts having an adverse effect and it weighs on you. It starts getting heavier and heavier and heavier because you keep denying your growth. You avoid doing the hard thing now that's going to make things easier later. But when you keep avoiding, you begin to make everything hard now. And then another layer of procrastination creeps in. I haven't done it yet, so I'm not going to do it. Well, I have to get ready to do it. I have to prepare myself. I got to make sure it's not going to be like last time. I got to. And then it racks up and racks up and racks up. And here we are still not doing the thing. And again, you trying to avoid that hard thing in the past is what's bringing on these problems in the present, aka your past future. Because again, hard things are inevitable. Hard things always come and they always come back due. So ignoring and avoiding the hard things now certainly makes shit harder later. It's like with anxiety, and you know how that's around like worrying about the future, and it's applying that worry that you might feel in the future to right now, and then that just compounds later. So you're really not protecting yourself from anything, you're just feeling the feeling ahead of time. Well, yeah, this is kind of the opposite in that you avoided the feeling on the front half, but now you're in debt. Again, it's still due. It's like investment accounts, right? It may have gone in untaxed, but it sure as shit is coming out taxed. And again, it's just from this idea that hard things cannot be avoided. You are going to have to go through them at one time or another. Honestly, at multiple times. So don't fall for the trap that easy now is easy later. Know that when you do the hard thing, when you do the scary thing, you're creating freedom later. You're creating confidence. You're creating the ability to be unbound. You are creating more capacity for joy and pleasure because there's a dwindling number of shit that can throw you off. Doing the hard things is genuinely a gift to your future self. And honestly, I am unavailable for your pushback to this because every hard thing that you have ever been through, you've survived. You are here and you are listening to this today. You survived. Even if you're still in the thick of it, you are surviving and you will get there as long as you keep going. The next hard thing that comes up is no different. You will survive and you will get stronger for it. You cannot be broken. Even if something has broke you before, you are not broken. Maybe that version of reality broke, but you are not broken. You rebuilt, or you're in the process of rebuilding. And most times, that's such a necessary process. We very rarely get anything right the first try. So, breaking things down and building them back up is how we get closer to what we want and who we want to be and how we want to live. Again, you are not broken, and hard things cannot break you. An idea, a perception, an identity, sure. But you? No, baby, you're not broken. You're not broken at all. And you don't need perfect conditions to do the hard things. You actually will likely never have perfect conditions to do the hard things. You just need to do them. You need audacity and commitment, and boom, you're there. Doing hard things isn't just something that only special people can do, or heroes can do, or only the best of us can do. Doing hard things is what each one of us has to do. Not only do we have to do it, we're already doing it. Every person on this planet does hard things and goes through hard things. It's a very human occurrence, and so is resilience. because resilience is how we do hard things. And so each and every one of us, again, needs to build the skill of resilience. We need to work on it. We need to improve our ability to withstand hard things. We need to improve our ability to recover quickly from hard things. Like, say you're trying to date and you really hit it off with somebody and then they unmatched you or ghosted or said that they weren't into you or said it was all in your head or ended up with one of your friends or whatever. That's a hard thing. All those things are hard things. And I'm not negating the difficulty in it. I'm saying that if you want to be in a relationship, you're going to have to go through those hard things. It's part of the process. It's part of the route you need to take to get to where you want to be. And resilience helps you stick to it. Because say that happens and you don't have resilience, that's the people, oh, I'm going to give up on dating. I don't need to be in the apps. I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need to whatever. My person's just going to come drop out the sky and find me while I'm hiding in my closet in my house. And I tell no one where I live. They'll find me. No. You have to be a co-creator in your dreams. It's not only up to you, no. But you sure as shit got some responsibility. It's your job to keep showing up for what you want. And resilience is how we do that. I gave a lot of examples. Some of them may not affect you as a person, and maybe all of them would. So again, in that situation, not trying to be like it didn't affect you or you're just back in the game, but imagine being able to bounce back, being able to have that elasticity, that toughness, that, okay, that one didn't work out, but surely another one will. I'm down to try it again. I'm here to take the risk. I'm here to be vulnerable. I'm here to go after what I want. Because the quicker you can do that and recover, the quicker you can get to where you want to be. Resilience is a required life skill. And hard things are going to happen as long as you're living. Nothing has gone wrong. This is all a part of it. And you're a fucking badass. Again, you've done so many hard things. You've survived so much. You've already built resilience. And we can keep going. We can build some more. Do not give up on your dreams, friends. Do the hard. All right, y'all, that is my rant for today. But before I let you go, I have a few exciting announcements. So, one, I dropped a private podcast. This one is a different vibe from this here podcast, whereas there aren't any teachings or lessons. It's straight up affirmations. And not just your average affirmations, but situationally specific affirmations that you can listen to whenever you need them. Because the right words at the right time make all the difference. I've started out with a few main ones, including Intentions for a Great Day. All of them are under 3 minutes, and all of them are tuned to healing frequencies. So you get that extra layer of mind-body connection. And of course, I will be updating these as time goes. And as always, I want your suggestions. Let me know what you want affirmations about, and I'll make them. But the link to the pleasure priority affirmed and aligned is in the show notes. And all you got to do is subscribe to access. So make sure you do that and share it with your friends. And my other exciting announcement is I'm on YouTube. This has been a long time coming, friends, but I've moved the podcast to YouTube. Of course, I didn't want to just drop a ton of backlog on y'all. So I'm dropping the old episodes with some new spins. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel to hear it and see it. And finally, don't forget about Ask Amber. Again, the link is in the show notes. Just fill out the form with your question and as much context and supporting information as you can think. And then I'll be sure to answer your question on the next Ask Amber episode. But that's all for now, friends. I'll see you next time. And until then, stay pleased. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Pleasure Priority. I hope that when you see things can be better, you're inspired to do better. Because remember, you deserve nothing less than an abundance of joy, fulfillment, and all the peaceful good vibes. If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Oh, and hey, make sure you're on my email list for more tips, laughs, story times, community, and all things pleasure. So until next time, keep living life on your terms because settling is for the birds. All right, stay pleased, my friends. I'll see you soon.